I've had my little dip, but I do need to get a move on because, well,
It was August 2025 when Katie, the creator behind Katie Roams, a channel focused on solo camping, hiking, and raw outdoor adventures, headed into the woods for another quiet night alone. She discovered a calm lake surrounded by trees and soft moss underfoot. For hours, everything felt peaceful and ordinary, until the kind of silence only nature holds began to feel different too, aware, too still.
Let's get in, shall we? Got my new fancy sit mat with me. Okay, I'm gonna go in. I'm really hoping it's not cold because I'm not very good with cold water, but let's dip. That's very cold. That's cold.
Flipping freezing that is, but it's kind of nice at the same time.
I've had my little dip, but I do need to get a move on because, well, it's kind of late. It's around 7 p.m. right now and I'm chilly as well. So I need to get dressed. I need to go for a wander. I need to find a spot first of all to actually camp. I was going to try and camp around the lake, but there are no flat spots that aren't boggy. There's a lot of boggy bits and the mozzies are a bit of a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and get dressed. I'm going to go on a wander and we're going to find a spot. Oh, it's cold. Let's go.
Katie started her evening as usual, relaxed, methodical, and content. After a quick swim in the cold lake, she noticed the sun was already going down. She chose not to camp by the water. The ground was muddy and mosquitoes covered the shoreline. Instead, she carried her gear deeper into the forest and found a soft patch of moss to pitch her tent.
First step is I'm gonna set up a little drying line over there. I'll show you in a second. Just so that I can hang up my towel and my swimming costume so that they can dry. It's not due to rain overnight, so should be dry in the morning. Lovely. Well, that is my tent fully set up. I'm going to go ahead and set my sleeping system up so I've got somewhere warm to go because my hands are still a little bit cold. And then I've decided there's a lot of branches around me, so I'm going to make myself a little chair and then we can cook some dinner. That's my plan. Let's go.
She unpacked her sleeping setup, organized her gear, and began building a small bushcraft chair from fallen branches. The steady sound of her saw cutting through wood filled the air until something else drew her attention. A faint scent of cigarette smoke passed by, followed by distant male voices.
I can hear and smell a group of men. I can smell their cigarettes and I can hear them as well. So I'm just going to leave my camera on record for like the foreseeable future until they leave. I would be quite concerned if they came any closer. So I'm just going to leave my camera on in case, because if they come up, my camera's on, I'll be on the phone with my mum or something. I'll call my mum and just fingers crossed they don't come. But I don't really, well, I'm out here alone and building a chair. They might be harmless, but it's better safe than sorry. So if you ever are in a situation like this, put your camera on record and call someone. It's the best thing you can do. Oh, and maybe have a knife on hand. No, I'm joking about that last bit. Or am I?
Katie looked toward the direction of the sound but saw nothing. Her demeanor shifted. She quietly aimed her camera to record not for content but for reassurance. The voices became clearer laughter mixing with the low bass of music somewhere nearby. She spoke softly, noting that any woman camping alone would feel uneasy hearing a group of men close by in the dark.
I don't know if you can hear that, but the scary men are now playing music and smoking cigarettes. Okay, if you're playing music on a speaker, loud, in a forest, which is very peaceful, and chain smoking cigarettes, you're not good vibes. If you can hear that, I'm sorry, because it's also ruining my time. I have no idea what genre that is. I thought I'd got rid of chavs when I left England, but apparently not. Sorry guys. Okay, made an indent. Now that I've got my chair finished, I do believe it's time for some dinner. An update on the men. They are staying over there, probably about 50 meters away from me. They came over to say hello. They said they saw a light, which is this light. And they said hello, invited me for beers and for dinner. I said, no thank you. Yeah, hopefully all is good. I'm sure everything will be fine. First of all, I don't drink. So, like, I just said, you know, sorry I don't drink, or, you know, and I've had dinner already, which I haven't. I'm just making my dinner now.
As she kept working, the group's music grew louder, carrying through the trees. When they eventually noticed her light, they called out friendly and casual, offering her drinks and food. Katie declined politely, acting as if she had already eaten. Still, the sense of calm she had built was gone. Later, as night settled in, she prepared a simple meal of soup and dried bread, realizing she had forgotten her spoon. She let out a quiet laugh, trying to stay composed. But by the time she lay down to rest, the group's music was still echoing. Close to midnight, she decided it was enough. She packed up her tent, gathered her belongings, and made her way back to the car. At 12:30 a.m., she was finally inside, safe and drained. She admitted her frustration, but also her relief.
Well, I am back at the car. It is around 12:30, pushing on 1 a.m. right now. I'm really disappointed that I had to leave, but safety-wise, I'm very glad that I made the decision to leave, because it is the reality of being a solo traveller or just being a solo camper and things like that. Things do go wrong and there's no support system out there. So it is okay to leave if you don't feel safe. If the energy isn't right, just leave. It's not hard, just pack up and go. I walked straight past them. I did not acknowledge them. I was like, head down, and off I went.
She said that sometimes leaving is the best choice a person can make. Viewers supported her decision, calling it instinct rather than fear. Many women shared similar experiences, packing up at night when something simply did not feel right. In solo camping, intuition is not weakness, it is survival. Was it only the noise that made her leave, or something deeper she sensed before anyone appeared? Sometimes the silence after you leave says more than the sounds that made you go. On November 8, 2025, the action-adventure twins, two brothers known for extreme cave explorations across the U.S., set out to investigate a place locals call the mailbox. Their channel focuses on squeezing into the tightest underground spaces, chasing the line between curiosity and panic. This time, the cave lived up to its name, a hole so narrow, so deep, it felt like a direct drop into something far below.
Oh no. Dude, I messed up. Yeah, dude, don't go in head first. Oh, dude, there's a huge freaking spider up there. Yeah, I can do anything but the spiders. Oh, no. Dude, they're everywhere, man. Just follow the roots. Dude, the floor looks like it's made of wood over here. I swear. It's like tree roots. Oh, dude, that's slick. Who put this rope here? Well, there's a rope that goes up. We're supposed to climb that. Really? Yeah. That's a Walmart rope. I'm not even sure what it's tied. This is crazy. I know. This one's really hard to climb.
The moment they entered, the pressure was immediate. The walls closed in. Every movement became slow and controlled. Then came the spiders, large, still, and waiting along the rock. They kept descending, their voices echoing through damp tunnels as the ground turned slick and steep. A rope, thin and worn, jokingly referred to as a Walmart rope, became their only path downward. It was secured to a tree root above a small detail that made it clear how fragile their setup really was. The descent led to an even tighter passage. To get through, they had to remove their helmets, breathing heavy and shallow as they slid inch by inch through the stone. At one point, one of them nearly got stuck his helmet catching before he managed to pull free.
Oh yeah, it's going up good actually. Seems to have a rope down there. Dude, it just keeps going. It was tied to a root. A root? Yeah. What? So all these things we saw are roots. Yeah. That's why they look like roots. Whoa, there's actually a fat rope that goes down. Rope, huh? Big old fat one. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't know how we got here. We'll figure it out. I don't know where my backpack is. That's just off in the middle of the cave. Yeah. That rope goes deep. Oh! Dude, that goes 60 foot. It's another set of ropes. Oh, you gotta have some sure footing. Guess we're going down this one with the knots. Wow, it just keeps dropping. I think that's the bottom, about 20 foot down. Well, I'm looking all right. This is bad. Yeah, why did the rope have to stop halfway down? I know, right? Oh, it's getting my chest. Oh, this isn't gonna be good. No. I think I'm gonna be hanging from my helmet. You might not be able to get back up. I think I'm gonna be hanging from my helmet, dude. Oh. Well, it fit. Holy crap, if it didn't, I would have been hanging from my helmet. No. It drops like another 20, 30 feet. Holy crap. Okay, I'm getting off on this level. Okay. Huh. I found a bucket. Oh. Dude, there's a bunch of clay sculptures in here. Yeah, there's military boxes. And a rope that goes up. What the heck? We got some good artwork in here. We got a giant beetle that's powered by a battery over here. I see that. That's a nice cobra and hot dog. What? A cobra and hot dog. Oh, the cobra, yeah. I took a picture of the cobra. What the heck? This is weird. I know. It's like a shrine. I know. And then a classic rope that goes up to who knows where. Wow. Oh, that's creepy. There's like a little figurine up there just staring down at us. Ledger. Old ledger was destroyed. 2024 they started this one. Alright, it's just a bunch of people that signed this. Hey, I'm from Japan. OMG, this hole. Look, we got this random guy a shout out here. My name is Mike Ecstasy. Welcome to Hellhole at 808 MXTC. I produce and make music. We got somebody named Vitali Gnarly Noah. But what is this guy saying? They're spreading healing frequencies out to the world. That's Mike Ecstasy. Dude, you're all the same guy. Get out of here, Mike.
Below, the space opened slightly. A single light revealed what appeared to be a hidden chamber, a room scattered with clay figures, a beetle, a snake, and a small statue that seemed to look back. They referred to it as the shrine. The silence felt thick and unmoving. On the wall, a ledger held names of others who had reached that point, each entry like a mark of survival. At the far end of the passage, a Buddha shrine sat in stillness, unexpected, eerie, and strangely calm. Before leaving, they placed an extra headlamp on a ledge, either a gift or a signal for whoever might arrive next. Then, they made their way back through the same tight tunnels, scraping along the rock until daylight finally returned. Their laughter at the surface carried clear relief, the kind that comes after being surrounded by darkness for too long. Viewers laughed about the spiders and the extreme tightness of the cave, but many said the real fear was psychological. Claustrophobia doesn't just come from the walls, it begins in the mind and waits for you to feel it. The twins left a light behind for the next explorer. But what happens when that light fades and someone else follows it deeper into the dark? Kuba, the creator behind Kuba Mystery, is known for exploring locations most people avoid. On this night, he selected a site so notorious that even locals advised against visiting after dark. Hidden within a bamboo grove, the area is marked by an old moss-covered well with a reputation tied to tragedy. The story connected to the well is grim. Years ago, a man working in the grove collapsed while cutting bamboo. He lost his footing, fell into the well, and was fatally impaled before help could reach him. Since then, unusual activity has been reported nearby. Disembodied cries at night, fleeting shadows, and a strong sense of being watched.
Sumur yang ada di samping kita, teman-teman, di sini waktunya ada kejadian seseorang bapak-bapak yang meninggal. Dia potongkan pohon bambu dan bapak itu terjatuh ke dalam sumur ini, teman-teman. Nah, makanya sumur ini digunakan sumur angker. Makanya sumur ini udah tertanam dengan tanah juga sih, ini jadi nggak dalam lagi, udah dekatin dengan tanah ini di atas kayak gitu. Jadi di sini dulunya, teman-teman, banyak orang mendengarkan kayak gitu. Di situ ada apa nih? Kayak ada petani di sebelah tempat ini, teman-teman, ada petani. Jadi seseorang itu selalu melihat ada suara-suara aneh di sini. Nah, waktu dia datang ke sebuah lokasi pohon bambu ini, jadi orang itu melihat di sini kayak ada yang jalan-jalan gitu, teman-teman. Ada penampakan kayak gitu. Dan makanya di saat Kuba mendengarkan cerita kayak gitu, dan Kuba sangat penasaran, teman-teman, untuk Kuba kayak gimana untuk bisa masuk ke tempat ini atau enggak, kayak gitu, teman-teman. Nah, jadi pada malam hari ini kita nekat untuk kita saksikan di tempat ini kayak gimana yang sebenarnya, teman-teman.
Despite the warnings, Kuba moved forward and cleared a small space beneath the tall bamboo to set up camp. As daylight faded, the unease began. At first, it was subtle faint sounds that could be dismissed, but they continued, each one becoming sharper and more persistent. Before long, something pale flickered deep within the grove, a quick flash of white between the trees gone as suddenly as it appeared.
Kalian lihat nggak? Hah? Kalian lihat? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Apa mungkin perasaan Kuba di depan kayak ada melihat sosok putih gitu, tapi nggak tahu itu apa. Astaghfirullahalazim, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah Muhammadar Rasulullah, la haula wala quwata illa billah, asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Semua yang ada sosok gaib di sini keluar, nampakkan diri di kameranya. Ayo ke sini, coba kau menghadapiku di sini. Keluar, dimanapun kalian berada, nampaklah, wujudlah kamu.
The atmosphere grew heavier, the forest no longer feeling natural, but instead like a place waiting for something unseen. In Indonesian folklore, bamboo groves are often associated with wandering spirits, especially sorrowful female figures tied to unfinished stories. Whether or not Kuba believed in these ideas, the sequence of events was hard to ignore. He attempted to continue as planned, starting a fire, preparing food, but nothing felt normal. Again, the faint white shape appeared among the trees, closer this time, though never fully visible.
Ngeri banget suara di luar tenda, teman-teman. Allahu Akbar. Takutnya binatang buas datang ke sini. Halo?
Later, strange sounds came from the direction of the well, low, steady, and unsettling, like a warning without words. Sleep became impossible. The night shifted from documenting the experience to enduring it as Kuba struggled to stay steady while filming and composed within himself. By morning, the activity faded. The heavy feeling lifted with the daylight, but the silence that followed carried its own weight. Although Kuba said little at the end, it was clear the night had left a lasting impact. Whether coincidence or something beyond explanation, the events seemed to reflect the local folklore tied to the bamboo grove. Some may argue it was stress and expectation shaping the experience, while others might see it as confirmation of the stories surrounding the well. Was Kuba simply experiencing fear, amplified by legend, or did he truly encounter something lingering in the shadows of the grove? This entry comes from the YouTube channel Haunted Rhythm, with Robin and Sam, where the pair investigate a site surrounded by folklore Bloody Bride Bridge. Long connected to tragedy, it is considered one of the most unsettling locations in the area, and their visit quickly develops into a night of unease. The story behind the bridge tells of a bride and groom returning home on their wedding night.
And we decided to do Bloody Bride Bridge this time. And the story behind this one is a bride and a groom were coming home on their wedding night and they crashed their car off a bridge. Okay, so the stories behind this is pretty much if you were to park on this bridge after midnight, the bride and the groom will appear in the back of your car. And the other story that I've heard from a friend is that if you come down here, you will see a car crash, but when you go past it, you will not see anything.
No, I'm just sitting there back there for her when she comes.
Well, there's supposedly 4 bridges that intertwine with all of this, and we are parked at the Red Bridge right now, and for some reason we found the most eerie one to go to. So yeah, it's kind of creepy out here. Like, we were all 4 going out at the other bridge, but this one we're kind of...
There was a bunch of construction on the other one, and this one is definitely eerie. It's at the end of a dead end.
There's tons of no parking signs.
Yeah, we can't park on... We're not supposed to park on the street on either side. And this bridge just lays in the middle of like these creepy looking woods, and
there's
a
tons
body of
bugs.
water. Bugs look like little spiders.
Yeah, show her.
Show her.
Or show them.
Sorry my window's so dirty, guys, but you see that? It's crawling around like a dang spider. Look at all that. They got so many legs. But there, that's what we're looking at, guys.
At the river.
Can't tell me that this isn't eerie as shit.
Their car left the road in a deadly crash, leaving the bride dead at the scene. Since then, stories say that if you park on the bridge after midnight, the ghostly bride or both newlyweds may appear in the back seat of your car. Others claim that a phantom crash can be seen repeating itself only to disappear as you get closer. Robin and Sam explain that several bridges in the area are connected to the legend, but they chose the one known as the Red Bridge. Getting there requires driving to the end of a dead-end road surrounded by thick woods and water with multiple no parking signs. The uneasy setting is made worse by the large number of insects covering the car and windows, their unnatural presence adding to the tension.
Something moved down there?
Yeah. I swear to God.
What did you see? Do you know what the bride's name is?
No.
Hello? Is there anybody here with us? This is so weird. See? Dead end road. Going down dead end.
No parking. No parking. Hey, what's down here? I don't even want to try going down there, dude.
That doesn't go anywhere, that does.
Oh, there's a car coming down here.
Committed to the experience, they parked after midnight, turned off the lights, and waited in silence. At first, nothing happened beyond the heavy stillness of the forest. Then, movement near the tree line caught their attention, something shifting just out of sight. Later, a pair of headlights appeared down the road, but within moments, the lights disappeared entirely. With no visible turnoff, the sight remained unexplained.
That's insane.
I'm gonna go right into the water. That would be nuts. There's a car. Hold on. Okay, There was definitely headlights.
You saw that, right? You can't go anywhere else.
Headlights. There's no headlights.
Where'd they go?
There's no headlights.
There's definitely somebody just driving down here.
Yeah.
The pair eventually stepped out to explore on foot. The bridge itself felt heavy, covered with what appeared to be insect eggs along the railing. Then, distant noises broke the silence.
Coming. Huh?
Are those eggs?
I don't know.
I think those are eggs.
Dude, there be like house spiders on this bridge. I ain't getting that close to this shit. I don't do spiders. What was that? You didn't hear that?
Brief, unclear, and distinctly unnatural, the sounds added to the already tense atmosphere. No figure appeared, but the night carried a clear sense of presence. Strange sights, unexplained sounds, and a lingering tension that matched the bridge's dark reputation. While no visible paranormal figure showed itself, the disappearing headlights and strange sounds remained difficult to explain. Were they illusions shaped by darkness and nerves, or signs of something more? If you were to sit on Bloody Bride Bridge at midnight, would you expect nothing more than a story, or would you be ready to meet the bride herself? Meet Brian Waters, the creator behind the YouTube channel, Brian Waters Outdoors, known for recording solo trips into remote areas where isolation often reveals more than expected. On January 24th, 2026, Brian headed out alone to spend the night deep within a secluded mountain cove, preparing for an incoming ice storm that would soon shut down the surrounding region. What began as a controlled overnight trip quickly shifted into a tense camping encounter.
I'm gonna get a little bit more set up, probably go hang out there by the creek, get my camera, wait for something to happen. Well guys, I don't know what it is about this little spot, but I've had a really good time on this episode. It's been super relaxing. Really, there's no one around me. There's a tent camper 100 yards away. And I think I've just been looking forward to getting back out here in that, so it's just been a good vibe all around. And definitely good drinks. I'm struggling to get the second one down. I hate to admit, but it's been a good evening.
As night settled in, the surroundings stayed calm, quiet, and undisturbed. Brian knew of another camper positioned about 100 yards away, but it did not raise concern at first. It felt far enough to be irrelevant, just another presence in an otherwise empty space.
Because I'm sitting here trying to enjoy my fire, and out of nowhere, there hasn't been anyone show up all day long. There's this, I'm gonna go ahead and call him a nutbag, probably 100 yards away from me, dancing around. Just feels kind of weird. You know, I don't go anywhere without protection, but that's the last, I don't know where he came from. I don't know if he's staying in that tent that's, you know, probably about 100 yards away, but there's definitely something wrong with that dude. Here's well having a good time inside his little mind. I don't know what's going on with this dude. So yeah, I'm probably not going to sleep quite as well as I thought that I was going to tonight, knowing that that's around me. It actually looks like he's walking over this way now.
After that, a single figure appeared without warning, completely out of place, moving unpredictably in the darkness. The behavior immediately stood out. As the darkness reduced visibility, Brian had to rely on his phone to follow the man's movements. There was no clear direction, no obvious purpose, only erratic motion, and the growing realization that he was no longer alone.
I can't see him with my eyes anymore, but I can use my phone, which is surprising, and I can see what he's doing, and he's finally, I guess, trying to start a fire. He's out there chopping live trees down, get his firewood. So yeah, very interesting. But I will say, my gosh, guys, it is very warm in here. It is nice and toasty. It's gonna get cold tonight. Curtain put up on the back for sure tonight. And at least on this side tonight, I've got this wood side panel for my diesel heater. I guess get into. Oh, what a nut.
Inside, he secured his space-reducing visibility and limiting exposure. The tension remained with him throughout the night. There were no direct attempts to approach the vehicle, no confrontation, but the uncertainty never faded. What started as a routine overnight stay became a camping encounter shaped by unpredictability. The individual did not act like someone simply passing through or casually camping nearby. In the end, Brian stayed inside, avoided escalation, and made it through the night. But the experience left behind a question that lingers. In places where you expect to be completely alone, how do you prepare for someone you did not plan for? This camping incident comes from City Boy, the creator behind the YouTube channel of the same name, known for capturing raw and unpredictable moments in remote and isolated settings. On January 25, 2026, he headed alone into the mountains, deciding to spend the night inside his camping vehicle, far from any signs of civilization. What began as a simple overnight challenge quickly turned into a deeply unsettling camping encounter, one that would leave him questioning whether he was ever truly alone out there. As he arrived, the environment felt eerily still, as if the mountains themselves were holding their breath. He parked his vehicle and began settling in, moving with quiet confidence as he prepared for the night ahead. A cup of coffee warmed his hands, while the silence surrounded him complete and undisturbed. He adjusted his setup, expecting a calm, uninterrupted night. Without warning, footsteps cut through the silence, slow, deliberate, and far too close to ignore. Moments later, a loud, forceful impact struck the car, echoing through the mountains. In an instant, the sense of safety disappeared, replaced by tension and uncertainty. He chose not to confront whatever was outside. Instead, he remained inside the vehicle completely still. In the end, he avoided escalation and made it through the night. But the experience left a lingering question. In places where you expect to be completely alone, how do you prepare for something you cannot see? Maybe it never revealed itself for a reason. But in a camping encounter like this, would you stay inside or try to find out what was out there?